Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Bath City Radio for live coverage of tonight's match between Truro City and Bath City from 𝗛𝗚𝗚𝗛𝗚𝗛𝗧𝗦 Park. I'm Mark Stillman, commentating throughout. City's 2-0 win over Havant, the 50th at home in the league under Jerry Gill, made it 4 victories in a row ahead of this clash and led them to top spot in the process. Truro drew 0-0 at Hemel in one of many lengthy trips, their first draw of the campaign. While the Romans face FA Cup opponents in the same city as them, Cornish outfit Truro have a near 150-mile round trip just for home games. To put into perspective, it'd be similar to Bath being exiled in Reading. But this inconvenience didn't halt last year's playoff glory, and they'll be hoping for further celebrations tonight, or at least make City sweat in this Plymouth heatwave. I'm delighted to be rejoined this evening by Bob Chester, who'll be summarising tonight. It's great to have you back, Bob, and straight in with the questioning. Do you think being league leaders adds extra pressure for Jerry Gill's side?
Well, good evening, everybody. Yes, and it's lovely to be back for this game between Truro and Bath City. Being top of the league, well, first of all, I'd just like to congratulate Jerry Gill, Jim Barron, and all the players and staff for being top of the league. It's after 6 games, I know it's only 6 games gone, but it's an achievement and well done to them. Is there any pressure? You take each game as it comes. It's the old adage, I think. Perhaps with 6 games to go and 40 played, yes, you might start to feel the pressure then, but it's just the start of a long season, and they've beaten 4 of the teams put in front of them quite convincingly, and got another point from the other 2 games. So a good start. And I'm sure Jerry Gill will be just saying, it's the next game, it's game number 7, there's 3 points to play for, and let's go out and get them.
Referee Lewis Sando, the last time he was in charge of a Bath City game was actually the game when Alex Fletcher picked up that serious injury against Dulwich and it was abandoned, and he handled the situation perfectly. So let's hope he takes control of this game just as well this evening. Bath City attacking from right to left from our vantage point.
And we hope everybody comes off the field at the end of 90 minutes in good health.
Game is underway. It's hit back to Russ, who sends it over to the right-hand side, where Law gets it away.
Yeah, the first 5 minutes gone now. It's still 0-0 here, and Truro have started quite well, but not threatened the goal yet.
Greenslade, central to Wilson, with a slightly heavy layoff for Thomas. Riley Lowe is underneath it. Playing on the right, but he's very, very left-footed. As he gets away now, he's the captain here at Truro. Scored the goal, which won them promotion in the playoffs against Bracknell. It's a lovely crossfield ball, which should be capped in from Law. Is now facing inside to Rooney. Gone away from Rains. Back to Harvey. Harvey surrounded, but he still finds the bottom corner. Tyler Harvey scores in this fixture for a third time in a row. 6 minutes. It's the former Bath City forward. Truro 1, Bath City 0.
Well, that was just a superb play from Conor Riley-Lowe. He was in his own half. He got onto his left foot midway in his own half, and he sent this fantastic diagonal ball right deep into the Bath City half, probably level with the edge of the penalty area.
Another abandoned campaign and a failure in the playoffs. Ball now, Wilson's going to try and get onto it. He's got the other side. Oh, he's been penalised for a foul. A little bit of a push, I think, in the back of Dean, but Truro played themselves into trouble, and you don't want to play yourselves into trouble when Scott Wilson's about. City don't want them to have a first half like they did on the opening day against Wellington. Here's Harvey, now to Neil on the right side. Brilliant block from Parcell. Brett wins a header against Cook. Parcell again heads it away, and that's just Russ. Cook is having his shorts pulled from Brett. He holds him off. The referee does well. He initially played advantage, says there isn't one. Brett might be lucky to escape a caution there. I thought that was a very deliberate foul. I think, no, he is going to get yellow carded. As Smith plays it over to the right-hand side, looking for Rains, who touches it into Clark, who's just been, no, he's got there before Brett, actually. Clark, left-footed shot is completely shanked, and it's straight through to Paddington. Truro playing well. 17 minutes gone. They lead by a goal to 0. Back to Porter on the right-hand side. Now Riley Lowe. Palmer again joining the attack. Quite adventurous. He's got it now, 30 yards out. Edge of the box. Urge to hit it. He does. And the man who formerly had a career in rugby, that was more like a conversion. He's hammered it out the ground for a goal kick. That one season with Bath City, Conor Riley Lowe. His final games in the Dorking playoff as Dean plays one over the top for Harvey. It's a not good header inside to Neil. Oh, it's just over the bar. Goodness me, what a strike that was from Rocky Neil. It's hit the sort of wall behind. I think a few people thought it might have gone in, but it was only a yard or so from doing so, and it would have been the man who got goal of the month last month would have got it again for sure if that had gone in. Clark might be a threat here. Somehow got the ball in between 2 men, but there's a head injury off the ball. Might be Rains who's gone down, just in front of the home dugout.
Played on the day, they played quite superbly, and City were a bit off the pace, but they got a goal, and they hung on to it, and the Sevenoaks had all that pace.
Bit of confusion here because City were allowed to restart through Russ, who then played it to Rains, who I presume entered the field without permission, and because of that, gets cautioned for that.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
I'm guessing he thought he was signalled to come back on.
Yeah.
I think a yellow's a little bit over the top. He could have just said, no, I did not tell you to come back on, but Joe Rains receives a yellow card. I say bundles, I don't know a figure, because finding statistics on Truro players is a tad tricky, but I'll work harder if we play them again.
Some websites are better than others.
Rains' ball over the top, is headed away from Dean. Now Cook on the edge of the box. Smith with a shot, and he sort of hit it into the ground. It goes a few yards wide. Up to Cook, who's had to come very deep. He's one of Barnsley's deepest outfield players at the moment. Dyer. Truro have retreated into a defensive shape. They've got pretty much every player in their own half, trying to work out when to press. Allowing City to play as Cook finds Rains in room on the right. Sends the ball towards the post vault. Where's a header? Oh, it's hit the post! Wilson's put it wide. Thomas's header looked like it deflected off Riley Lowe. It came back off the upright, and Wilson was steaming in under a little bit of pressure. He's put it wide. The closest Bath City have come to levelling. As City are now finding space on the right-hand side with Rains. He slowed the game down temporarily with a clever ball in behind. The great ball to Wilson, who's got away from the defence. Wilson shoots. Good block from Sanders. Initially, he sort of snuck in behind him, but the centre-back eventually did his job. City of Truro have got every player in their penalty area. Towards the head of Parcell, and man behind him was Rains. It's a volley from Dyer, and it's brilliantly grasped out of the air from Partington. It was quite an effort from Jordan Dyer, and in the end it's splendidly taken. 2 hands on it. He held it as well, did Partington. Still 1-0 Truro. Sends over to the right flank. I thought it was handball from Clark. It's not. It's now with Rains, side of the penalty area. Rains trying to get to the byline. Plays it across, and it's just hit wide in the end from Dean. It could have gone anywhere. Clark takes this corner towards Dyer again, headed away from Harvey, doing some defensive work. Cook with a back header. Riley Lowe can't get it away. It's Russ now, and he couldn't get underneath it to have a shot, and Partington this time is more dominant in the air with a good early shout. I think Barnsley will still be top as things stand. Still, even if they lose tonight, they've still got that 2 points a game. It's flicked inside now to Harvey in the penalty area, wide of it. Harvey shoots and puts it into the side netting. He couldn't find the angle, but there was a touch on the way through, so it's a corner. I think got into tropical-like conditions, although it has a simmer's probably around 20 degrees now. That's the half-time whistle here at Blytho Park, and where City have been made to pay for a pretty slow start. Former Roman Tyler Harvey with a goal on 6 minutes, and he can't intercept. Now Neil has got it past halfway on the left-hand side. Russ is coming back to check him. There's an overlapping run though of Law, who's got room to pick out his man. He might want to go alone, in fact. Law, who's gone down under a challenge of Dyer. Russ got his body in the way as well. It's out for a corner. Rooney is onto the loose ball before Wilson, but Smith just does about enough to get a toe poke in. It's helped over the top now. Harvey chests it and shoots, turning, and the technique was impressive. Palmer's got it striding forward purposefully from the back, knocks it to his right-hand side to Porter, just inside the penalty area. Plays it back across. Harvey hits it wide. It must have been inches wide.
That was a wonderful opportunity. I thought someone of the quality of Tyler Harvey would put that in the back of the net, but he didn't quite get it right. It lacked the power that I think he wanted.
Clark. Now inside to Russ, back to Clark, asking a bit of him, and the referee says that Dean got the ball. Clark has stayed down in agony. Truro can break now with Rooney. He's only got Neil up in front of him, so he plays it sideways to Riley Lowe. Clark is back on his feet. Riley Lowe, Palmer again offering an overlap, and usually for a centre-back. Riley Lowe inside to Rooney. Now Porter on the right, trying to find room to cross. Back to Riley Lowe, the little Cruyff turn, back to Porter. City have got 8 men behind the ball. 8 outfield players behind the ball. Porter does get a ball in. Palmer with a flicked header, and it's well taken from right. It's incredible how far forward Palmer is playing. Brett then sort of covers in behind him. He's on the ball now. And as you said earlier, Bob, that's a yellow card probably for Smith, who sort of pulled on the shoulder of Neil. And that's 3 cautions of this game. Joe Rains, who's going to make way. And taking his place will be Elliot Freer. So it's a left-sided player for a right-sided player. Rains was on a yellow. It's a delivery. It comes off the head of Palmer, almost gets Parcell. Cook keeps the ball alive. And in the end, Pardington manages to dive onto it. Gets the ball to Rooney on the left. Cutting in field, near the edge of the box now, Rooney. Good close control. Ball back to him, wasn't great from Neil. It was helped into the air. Russ volleys it towards halfway, and Wilson trying to run at the substitute White. He's got there. I thought the substitute would have had fresher legs, but Wilson has shown more urgency. He's got Clark on the right-hand side, uses him with a driven pass just inside the penalty area. Now Clark City have got flooded the box. Ball in is deflected, an overhead kick from Thomas comes to nothing, and now Truro can look to break. They've got the ball further forward with Neil. Turns away from Greenside, leaves him on his backside, but Greenside straight back to his feet, and the referee says it was a fair challenge. It was quite high, I thought, from Rooney. The assistant flagged for a foul, and that means City have stopped, and Truro can try and exploit. It's Law, corner of the penalty area. He squares it back now to Neil. Neil tries to get the ball from underneath his feet, and he doesn't. And, well, I think the officials will be grateful that that didn't lead to anything more sinister, because there was a bit of confusion from the players. It's opened up again. Thomas is in room on the right-hand side, running at Sanders, infield. Reverse ball to Cook, who should keep it in play. He's now got Clark for support. Back to Clark, helps it into him a tad. Faced up from Law. Smith, he shaped across first time, he crosses second time, and Brett gets it away.
It's always different people's opinions, but...
Clark cuts inside now, near the corner of the penalty area. Oh, he tried to go on his left foot, replicate what he's done recently against Hampton. He couldn't get a shot away, and he missed the challenge as well. Truro can break with Rooney. Clever ball in behind. Neil's going to get onto this. Harvey's waiting in the middle. Porter's made a run forward. It's back to Porter! And he's put it over the top with a first-time strike from around 18 yards. In fact, he caught it pretty well. I mean, not won either of their last two at home. Thomas on the last two overall, rather. It's Thomas now on the right, charging forward. Cuts inside now. Edge of the box. Thomas, left-footed. It's a huge deflection. It's out to Clark on the right, near the byline. That would have stung. Hit the back of a Truro head, I think. It's now Clark. He's somehow kept the ball in play. Great footwork. Still Clark's played it back. Thomas is charged down. It's now with Smith near the edge. City probing. Smith shoots. It's over. And it's only just over. It had certainly had some venom on it. It absolutely sped just off target. Well, they're hard-working side, Truro. Now Freer inside to Thomas. He's lost out. Tried to win the ball back to no avail. Picked up Harvey, feinted to shoot. He's now got it to Neil near the edge of the box, and he prods it towards the keeper. Yeah, Harvey looked up, and we've seen him do that before, but this time he didn't fancy it. Russ is being a combative challenge from Rooney. Second one he's done in the last few minutes or so. And then the referee says firm but fair. He won the ball because Clark is on it on the right-hand side. He might wait for a delivery at the end of this. Clark, right-footed, brilliant block from Sanders. De Clark had initially got the better of two men almost. Law keeps it in play. Not a good ball though. Dyer's got time to pick out a cross, which he does for the header. Cook with a looping header, but it's too high. Riley Lowe again. He's got room. Russ looks quite tired trying to close him down. Riley Lowe onto his right foot this time, and does manage to get a ball across. Now it's with Harvey just inside the area. He shoots to a crowd of bodies, and well watched from goalkeeper Dyer, who's got room, space, grass to move into, but now he's being closed down from Greenslade. The lofted ball over the top for Cook. He's spun away from White. Cook left-footed, but he's put it wide. It was difficult for Cook, really. I mean, he had to watch the bounce of the ball first after it floated over the defender. Dan Hayfield, I think, is coming on. Indeed he is. And Jordan Thomas is making way. Greenslade past halfway. Freer's offering a run on the left-hand side. He's got it now, Freer. City have flooded the box with four players. It's towards the head of Cook's just too high, and it just misses Clark behind him. It's going to go out of play for a Truro throw. Headed away now to Freer near the corner of the penalty area. Faced up from Riley Lowe. He's pulled it behind. Hayfield's shot is blocked, and it needed to be blocked from Brett, who was right in front of him, and it's gone behind for a corner. Dyer with the crossfield ball. It's managed to bypass Cook and find Freer on the left. Again faces up Riley Lowe. Freer again gets the better of the two, gets across towards the 6-yard box. Goalkeeper is floundering, he's not got hold of it. Clark turns and shoots into the side netting. Some of the fans thought it was in. They're wrong, and the Truro fans point that out to them. Freer puts an arm in the air. A crowded box. Gets it. Oh, It's a foul in there. It was Greenslade past Sal. There was all sorts of bodies in there, a couple of pushes and shoves. It almost to me looked like two City players fouled each other.
Yeah, it looked like about 2 or 3 City players were all going for the same balls and collided about on the penalty spot and just got on each other's way.
Dean is indicating there's an elbow. If there was, I didn't see anything deliberate in that. And the referee, I think, might be putting his name in the book for protesting, even though he won the free kick. And yeah, only left Russ near the edge of the box. Plenty of outfield players in there. It's helped away, though, and Smith under pressure, and it's been fouled, I think, near the edge of the box from Rooney, who picks up a yellow card. Whether they go for placement or power. Smith and Hayfield. Referee blows his whistle. It's going to be Hayfield. Driven! Oh, he's in! It's gone in! The goalkeeper can only get a hand on it! Bar City look like they have rescued a point in stoppage time. It's the super sub, Dan Hayfield, Truro 1, Bar City 1. This lot will never lie down.
It was a cracking shot. It was low, it was hard, and although the keeper got his hand to it as he dived to his left, the ball struck the inside of the post and went in, and jubilation amongst the City players and fans. But there is a City player down injured. I think it's Clark, but yeah, probably just about, because City kept plugging away, not necessarily creating a load, but they just kept chipping away, and eventually they've got their reward.
And it's also the 300th league goal under Jerry Gill. What a way to net it, Dan Hayfield, with his second goal of the season. It's now Harvey Greenslade on the left-hand side, cuts in field near the edge of the penalty area. Greenslade shoots and he pulls it a couple of yards wide.
So we've had 9 minutes now, and I think with the booking and the goal, that would be the 30 seconds for each, and that's it. He's blowing now before the goal kick. That's 1-1.
It does finish here at 𝗛𝗚𝗚𝗛𝗚𝗛𝗧 Park. Truro City 1, Bar City 1. Tyler Harvey, rather predictably, opened the scoring. The third time in a row he scored against Bar City for Truro. 6 minutes, rounding off a decent move started from Connor Riley. Low from the right, worked over to the left, and a left-footed finish into the bottom corner. Bar City had chances in the first half. They grew as the game went on. They hit the post, a deflected effort from Jordan Thomas, and a spectacular save from Jamie Partington from an equally impressive effort from Jordan Dyer. And Truro had a couple of chances to extend their lead in the second half, but Bar City on the hour mark swapped to a back three, and it certainly did the trick. When Elliot Freer came on, they created more out wide. They matched Truro up, who weren't helped themselves. The 3 players, key players who came off for them, defender Ed Palmer and the 2 forwards, Tyler Harvey and Rocky Neal. In the end, it was a free kick conceded by Dan Rooney on the edge of the box. Dan Hayfield stepped up, and a haymaker, a low, drilled bottom corner effort where goalkeeper Partington could only get a glove on it, and it bounced against the upright and into the bottom corner, secures a draw for Bar City. They don't keep up their record of scoring at least 2 in every game this season, which is a fine one at that, but they'll be more than happy with a point here in Devon, won't they, Bob?
They certainly will. I'd say it's one of those games where they just ground out a result. They were resilient, they kept going. They weren't playing at their best. They conceded an early goal, but they stuck at the task, and as long as you keep that going, and you might get your reward, and they did with that wonderful free kick from Dan Hayfield. So, yeah, it shows resilience, and you get away games like this, and it's important that for their confidence and for the fans there who've come down to Devon on the Devon-Cornish border here, and they now can go home knowing that their team have got a point.
We'll be back on air from Bar City Radio this Saturday. Myself, Mark Stillman, it could be alongside Alex Lane-Kjodska at Welling United, where City will be hoping to keep up their impressive start to the season. So thanks very much again for tuning in. Truro 1, Bar City 1 from 𝗛𝗚𝗚𝗛𝗚𝗛𝗧 Park. For myself, Mark Stillman, good night. Enjoy what's left of your evening.